Silly Moustache here. Yesterday was the hottest day in the UK since records began, which was a long time ago. But I received a very kind comment on one of my videos on YouTube and some interesting questions from a fellow British YouTuber called SaladZingers. So he wrote, "I've just found your channel, Andy, and have hours of happy viewing and listening ahead." Well, thank you. He said, "I'd love to hear about how you choose songs for your repertoire. Do you have any go-to resources for learning new or new-to-you songs? Do you prefer to work them out all by yourself or from scratch, or try to find them in a songbook, etc.?" I'm paraphrasing. So, how do I choose songs? Well, firstly I'd say that 99% of my material comes from American folk, country, singer-songwriter artists, and has been really since I started sometime in the 60s. I've no absolute rules or directions, but I tend to choose songs with lyrics that capture my imagination. Maybe I should give you a little bit of history. Age 15, 1963, I was a drummer in a school band and stuff like that. But I was helped considerably by a chap called Charlie Watts of the Rolling Stones, who was my mentor. I was big into R&B because that was what was suggested by Mick and Keith of the same band and others in that genre at the time, and I was listening to a lot of country and Chicago blues. Age 19, in 1967, I took a girlfriend to see an American singer-songwriter called Tom Rush at a British folk festival. And it wasn't my kind of thing, but I was intrigued at how he communicated so musically and emotionally to a crowd of adoring onlookers with just one mic, one guitar and his splendid voice. And it struck me quite considerably. Now, my earliest attempts at trying to play guitar and learning songs was from his first album, which I think was called Circle Game, in 1968. I knew a few major minor chords, but little else, or not much about how to do anything useful with my right hand. I should say that I'm left-handed, but I play right-handed, because it never occurred to me to do anything else. So it was a matter of playing a record, putting the needle down, listening, taking it up again, writing down the lyrics, trying to work out the chords. Sometimes it worked, often it didn't back then. From Tom's albums, of course, I discovered Joni Mitchell, James Taylor, Jesse Winchester and many more, and from them I discovered even more singer-songwriters. So my record collection started expanding then, and they were records then. These songs were more literate, intelligent and thought-provoking than the music my bands were playing. Tim Hardin and Tim Buckley were also quite important to me. 1970, aged 22, with my girlfriend I moved into a sordid flat in the West End in West London, which made it easy for me to get to folk clubs in the West End and into central London. I met many great people there and got a lot of influences. A flatmate, thanks Andy G, introduced me to country and bluegrass. I started messing around with flat picks and different styles in an amateurish and very disorganised way. I searched out simple country songs, but with no definite style of direction, but the playing style was becoming more important than the lyrical quality of the songs at that time. Age 27, in 1975, I moved out of London, found myself in, well, it was kind of a strange country to me, but it was only 100 miles north or so. But I found myself involved in bluegrass bands, so I had to learn to flat pick rhythm bluegrass guitar and play dobro mandolin pretty quickly. 1979 I moved again to the south of the country and again stumbled into a bluegrass band, which was great. 1983 I became very, very ill. I was diagnosed with something called lymphatic sarcoidosis. I was virtually paralysed, in great pain. Any movement caused me great pain. It was impossible for me to sing and play for 10 years. In 1993, feeling a little bit better, I saw a guitar in a shop window locally, which sparked my interest. So I got my Martin down from the attic after 10 years, summers and winters, and started to teach myself again. I became more interested in the mostly Texas-based singer-songwriters style. People like Guy Clark, particularly Guy Clark, but Townes Van Zandt, Robert Earl Keen, Lyle Lovett, etc. In 1995, I rediscovered folk clubs, and so I went out starting to play my American style of songs, which didn't go down too well initially. But I developed my craft slowly and formed duos and trios to support me. I still worked out songs by ear and by writing them down now on a Philips word processor, I remember. 1999, I'd been involved with an online group, a Yahoo group, of people with an interest in Guy Clark and Townes Van Zandt particularly, and other such artists. And they decided that they're going to make some compilation albums, so they asked me to record some tracks to go on an album. In fact, I did that 3 times, 3 different albums, and that encouraged me to make my first album, 1999. How did I get my lyrics and stuff like that? Well, by then we were online, and there was an a website called Cowboy Lyrics. I found that quite useful, and there were 3 or 4 others, but they seem to have disappeared. And now, of course, is something called Ultimate Guitar that seems to have everything. So I look at that. But I have a large list of songs, many of which I've been singing for maybe 30 years. Still don't always remember the words, of course, but there we go. Nowadays, my most stimulating source of new songs and new artists are from my Zoom clients, who ask me how to play a song by an artist that I hadn't heard of. And I've been inspired quite a few things like that. So thank you, my Zoom clients, and keep asking. Nowadays, I'll hear a song, I will search for the details online. Ultimate Guitar is just too easy not to use, but I'll transfer it to a Word document and rework it to my style. I have no compunction about changing key, tempo, rhythm, even the lyrics to suit my style, but I'll always credit the original writer. So that's the question. That's the first question. So yes, I do have online resources for finding these things. I don't go searching for them. They tend to come to me, as I say, from other folks. I run a club, and sometimes someone will come along with a song they've discovered, and I think, oh, I'll have a look at that too. Or someone will ask me for information about how to play it on a Zoom lesson. So yeah, all mine are, I'm very old and I have developed a style now, so I think my singing and playing style is quite my own, but it takes a great deal from American guitar playing styles and American songwriters. Hope that answers that question, SaladZingers. He's asked me some other stuff about my playing techniques and things like that, which I'll cover in another video. So if you have been, thanks for watching, and keep cool. Bye.